Last one was intense. Because it's so calm, I don't realize the intensity of it till I sat and watched it. Because I understand what I said, and I feel, and it's just part of my day. And then when you sit and watch it, and you understand what's this guy saying, and it's still hard for a lot of people in this town to understand. I am the spirit of King David. And the spirit of King David is the spirit of Lord Jesus. And I have the proper temple for the soul that provides life to the shared memories and of the one that's cultivated right is the one that's, and Jesus said, be fruitful, multiply. And then when you need him, he will be in the right place and do the right thing. And I think that's hard for a lot of people to understand. The one little Jehovah's Witness lady today that gave me the card, she couldn't look me in the eye. The other lady could. She kept quoting the Bible on her phone to me. And I would sit down. I'd show them my legs and told them, it's uncomfortable and it hurts. It's the cancer cells kicking the toxins out of my body, and my body telling me, just hang in there. You can be all right. Especially if past, present, future operate at the same time. You can, Natalie. You can clean up the whole thing and see yourself in the. She helped me a lot with that because I had to explain it to her because she was a child when the stuff that was happening with the abuse from the Temple of Settlement Illuminati with her mom. Okay, and I tried to explain to her. I was like, Natalie, I never, every time, when she was dating the Cruz Santos guy, who. She called me up from the hotel in Tucson crying because he was talking to another guy and she overheard him. And the guy was like, you usually date hotter chicks than this. Why are you dating this fat girl? Well, because I can sign off on her daughter's birth certificate and get my nationalization. So she calls me up from the car crying and comes back home to me. And then 2 days later, the Cruz Santos guy calls me crying because he's going to be deported. And I had to tell him, hey, you just did the wrong thing. You went the wrong way. I hope your life goes better in the future. I hope you make better decisions. That's what I said to him. I had his address and his phone number on my car on her because she was his boss, his manager. I could have gone to his house and kicked his ass for having sex with my wife to try to sign off on Natalie's birth certificate. And trust me, okay, I could have kicked his ass. Okay, do you understand? I've had assassins show up at my house and they were terrified of me. But it was a terrified respectful. It wasn't a terrified like, like the assholes, It wasn't like a David Rockefeller worrying about, oh, he's going to have me killed. It was more like, you're better than me and now I know it. And you could kill me, but you won't because you love me. And I'm like, yeah. So they're terrified of what they've become. And then they leave knowing, oh gosh, I'm never going to be as good as him. And that's not right. Life is eternal and grace is infinite. When you submit to the faith that I submit to, you'll be as good as me. And that's a good thing. But Natalie, she was sitting there and I had to talk to her the other morning because she was trying to talk me into get healthy, work on your prostate, do these things. I'm working on it, Natalie, as well as I can. I'm working on it. And she's very encouraging, and it was very hard on her emotionally and psychologically. And then I try to get her to be empathetic. I've done this my whole life with Natalie, is to be understanding and empathetic of her mother, that her mother went through such hell because of the Temple Set Illuminati trying to turn me into a murdering prayer connection computer program as opposed to a human being. Because a man named David Rockefeller watched my house, and David Rockefeller was jealous of my old man because my dad was devoted to Jesus, loved Jesus. My dad's he tries to be very respectful. He can be very charming. He's very attractive. And Rockefeller Thomas cocky and stupid. And then he raises this kid who's better than he is, and he wants to be better than his kid. That's the way Rockefeller sees my dad. The way I see my dad is my dad's trying to protect me from Rockefeller because I'm better than Rockefeller. My dad, I tried to explain to Dad, you're better than Rockefeller. Well, I don't feel, he doesn't feel that way. I was like, Dad, did you join the military and hang out with all, see, Rockefeller hangs out with all the jocks and then is the lead cool guy of all the jocks because he has the top technology to keep America free and strong. Okay? My dad, he's a kiss ass to the jocks. And what are you? You create them. It really pisses me. That's just the way David Rockefeller is, and Rothschild. And it says in the books that that the people that are acting as the devil and lying in the name of the Lord and doing saying all the right things and doing all the right things are British. Okay, Rothschild and Rockefeller. Okay, and the guy who corrects them. My name is Parsons. My name is Ralph Parsons Jr. And what are you? You're pathetic. Stop doing that. You're pathetic. Okay, do you understand? So I'm Parsons. Okay, it's British. Okay, so I come from the same people as Rothschild and Rockefeller. Okay, and they were the ones that had Pharaoh with Daniel with Pharaoh with Joseph and Moses, and Nebuchadnezzar with Daniel and so forth, right? And then Caesar with Jesus. They were in that position. And, of course, naturally they were going to drop the ball because they thought it was a game, and it's not. Okay, life is eternal, grace is infinite. Submit to faith and be humble. And, you're going to have to learn to love because you don't know how. And the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, apparently, because they haven't done anything to show up and be proper human beings that love their own children or grandchildren, aren't capable, right? And it affects all of you, okay? And the one lady that they use to try to manipulate me the most, it affects her greatly, psychologically, mentally, and emotionally. And they knew I'd have a real strong attachment emotionally to her kids. So I like Mark's voice. I'm particularly fond of Mark. Well, he wouldn't stand up for you. He's a pussy. That's what Rockefeller is with everybody. Okay, it's like, if Mark can't be Zorro and I'm Zorro, then I got to be Zorro. But Mark can help Zorro, Well, he ain't helping you. Hey, he's praying, he's trying. Okay. But, if you know who I am and you're praying for the Lord's Prayer, then you are trying your best, even if you feel you can't do it publicly. But I assure you can. Okay. Ever since Trump was elected, before Trump was elected president, right when Obama swore in January 22nd, 2013, you could go and tell people this guy's the Messiah in New Mexico. You could tell everybody you met. Okay. And then the more they tried to attack you with technology, the more the technology would maneuver to protect you and the people that believe what you believe. Okay, but people just haven't done that, and that's where Rockefeller gladly kill over, and like shit. And I understand it's a difficult situation to still be in, but I would much rather you stand up and accept me as the living word than have to use the technology to kill the people that you think you're afraid of. But the people you think you're afraid of are like the fear demon on that Buffy show that's 6 inches tall. It's like being afraid of your own penis. Do you understand? Some of you haven't even, it's going to be harder to step on his penis. He's got a 13-inch penis. I'm being facetious, right? Okay, they think that's God's gift to women, right? Here we go again. But I can't reiterate how much, I had a better sexual reputation, 5 3 cojones, than guys that were ginormous. Okay, women appreciated and enjoyed sexual relations and intimacy with me than guys with much larger penises that thought their penis was God's gift to women. Okay, that when they were me, they told you feel like you're the queen of the world. You feel like you're the only woman in the world. You feel like you feel like you're. Amy used to say it. You feel like you're the J-Lo of Sierra Vista or the Paris Hilton of Sheridan, Wyoming. You feel like you're the it factor. You're the trendsetter. You're the most amazing woman in the world. When I protect you emotionally and sexually, right? And I want other men to be able to make their women feel that loved. But the thing about it is, it was dysfunctional because other people were studying us, had a virtual presence in our life, manipulating, and that's why it felt like that. When this virtual presence and this home invasion through debt and trespass ends, It'll be more like you're home. You're right where you need to be. You're being loved by the man, whether his penis is 13 inches long or 3 inches long. Okay, which is irrelevant, right? Whether her boobs are as big as Dolly Parton's, are as small as a soccer player. I don't know. I'm just being facetious, right? Or some gymnast. I don't know. I don't really care. But that doesn't matter as long as they can feed the baby. They're doing their job, right? Okay, do you understand? And so, don't compare yourself. Like Haile Selassie told me, if a woman judges you by the size of your penis, she's a whore. What do you care what she thinks of you? And I was like, I love you so much. You can't help but love Haile Selassie if you're intelligent enough to have faith and love. If you're not, you don't know him. He doesn't talk to you, and because you don't listen to him. And his thing is, don't listen. Don't try to talk to me in prayer and listen to me. Listen to the Messiah who is standing up for your right to life right now in New Mexico on YouTube. Right? Thank you, Lord Selassie. I love you so much. And thank you, Natalie, for helping me with the stuff with your mother recently. That's very helpful. And with Patrick's mom. Okay. She's trying to be very empathetic and understanding what Patrick's mom, because they were horrible. I understand that they were horrible. I lived it. Okay. I know that Patrick's mom lied to the civil authorities and went to the bars, and me and Patrick had to live in the ghettos, and I had to throw Crips out of the apartments that beat their girlfriends. I lived it. I understand it all. I never knew because Amy was always out cheating, and every time she came home pregnant, it was always after she was out cheating. She would leave. When my first vacation I got in like 5 or 6 years, Patrick came to stay with us with all the kids, and she left and wasn't there for 2 weeks. Okay. And then she comes back home, and she'd always leave and go for 2 months and then come back pregnant and then claim that I got her pregnant. And Natalie used to get mad at me and says, if you think you got her pregnant, you really are Jesus Christ. And I'd be like, Natalie, you're such a sarcastic little stinker. I raised you. Amy would get mad at her. I'd go, Obi-Wan has taught you well, young Padawan. That's just the way I am. I'm a sarcastic person. If you don't like it, it's probably because you lack the capacity to be a fun and humble person. It is. Okay. I love you guys, all right? Let's load this one up, and we'll just keep flowing. All right, peace.